And then we have the Wang motor car here. John Stansfield and his group we had 2 years ago, and now there's John Stansfield in Local Motion. Welcome back, John. And what are you bringing us today?
Well, so unfortunately we haven't named the vehicle yet. We're still working on it. We'll just call it Stanford. Thanks a lot for putting this on. So what we brought today is kind of the culmination of our efforts in local mobility. We're really excited about solving local mobility, and I want to kind of pose a statement to everybody here, which is a third of all of our trips in the U.S. every year are less than 5 miles. And so that's about 1 trillion miles of mobility traveled every year, mostly in internal combustion cars. So what we really wanted to do was to take all the ideas we had about solving that and kind of push those into a vehicle platform. Now this is what we came up with, and what we really want to do in the future is change how people move around locally. And we're starting with corporate campus and university models so we can sell into fleets and really change how those corporate campuses are viewed by their employee base. So kind of put the fun back in the model of moving around in the local environment again.
So are you making any statements like what's the minimum range of such a vehicle should be, and then other specifications like top speed and so on? So where do you position this car?
So we come in the low-speed vehicle category, which is an existing category, meaning you can drive on any street posted 35 miles an hour or less. The vehicle itself will have a range of about 40 miles, and that's greatly dependent on what the customers actually need. Because as you know, the biggest cost in these vehicles is the battery packs. The beauty of entering the low-speed vehicle category, obviously, is that you're not going on the highway, so you're cutting out the entire crash testing side of things and the safety components. For us, what we really want to do is design a vehicle that's safe and shareable in the local environment, so hence the steel body around everything. So it's the same material that NASCAR uses for 200-mile-an-hour crashes.
Which hopefully will not happen with this car. You got 4 wheels. Almost everyone else here has 3 wheels or fewer. So any thoughts on that?
Well, we really wanted to focus on ease of use. And if we find a 3-wheel vehicle that is safe and social and very usable in our environment, we would probably use that one. For us, it's really not about the vehicle. It's about solving local mobility problems. We're more focused on the sharing software side of our business than the vehicle engineering. We come up with a compelling design that we want to push and see what happens. But like I said, if we could find a vehicle that was in the market today that we could buy and add our social side, software side too, we would gladly do that.
So not sure if that was already clear, but we see here on top, tap your card here. So you talked about fleets, and so that's always something like car sharing and so on. So any thoughts on this, like car sharing models, mobility models they want to share with us?
Yeah, sure. So since we're on the Stanford campus, we can look at a scenario here. Imagine pods of these vehicles close to dorms. And a student comes out with his or her student ID card, which has an RFID tag already in it. They have a meal plan and a medical plan attached to that card. Why not a mobility plan? So you take the RFID tag, you tap it on the dash, we know who you are, we know how to charge you appropriately, we know where you go, we can suggest rides with friends, we can suggest destinations you've gone before, ones that might actually be applicable to you or deal.
Makes a lot of sense to me. One thing that I mentioned introducing you, and many of us know here, that you graduated out of Stanford class of 2010, and you did this amazing project as part of the design program, the Wang. And we still see some key features or elements in here. We still see some wood, and we see the open, or what you said earlier, the social experience of driving and being out and about. So tell us a little bit what happened in the last 2 years, and then also what you learned maybe from the Wang and from starting a little company and now being here with the Local Motion.
Sure. So this is actually street legal, and we've been in San Francisco for the last 6 months at an incubator, and so we've been driving this around San Francisco. And one of the coolest things is no matter where you go in the city, people approach you and ask you for a ride. And that doesn't happen in a car very often, because you're kind of sealed in a building of speed. So what we really want to do is to take all the constraints away that people see in actually sharing their mobility. So the reason there are no doors is because it's obviously easier to get in than opening a door. So we really wanted to leave things wide open and build an object that really draws people in. So the tubes, one of the really interesting things is that most people, when they approach the vehicle, the first thing they do is they grab the tubes and they sit down. And that's success for us, because we want people to jump in, jump out, really use this for a very local solution. And in our mind, we win if we have 4 people on the vehicle every time. So we really want to incentivize people getting on and off as many times as possible.
So it could be the cable car of the future in San Francisco.
That'd be great.
All right, so we will invite you back. Thanks a lot for coming today, John. We'd love to welcome you.